There is an argument to be made that Henry Cejudo is the greatest combat sports athlete of all time. Do you agree?
I mean, I let the people decide on that. I can't really be the one who's making those claims. So if people think that, then they think that. I will say he's done a great job. He's got a really good resume, and I look forward to the challenge.
G'day, Aljo. How are you, mate? It's no secret that I have underestimated you time and time again. But, mate, you are the gift that keeps on giving. I will say, honestly, you have impressed me every fight since that one time I underestimated you, and you've looked phenomenal since. Is this your biggest test today? Do you consider this your biggest test, or are we going to see another improvement which you have been showing me consistently?
I think it's going to be a big test. They're all tough challenges. You know, every fight's the next big one because everyone's preparing for you, specifically for your style and the things that you bring to the octagon. So I think that's what makes each challenge different, as opposed to watching somebody on TV and kind of just thinking that you got their number, so to speak. People make really good adjustments, as we've seen with Islam Makhachev versus Volkanovski, how he made those adjustments and how he showed us he can make the big changes in his wrestling defense to compete with the guy who's super well known for his grappling control and for smashing guys when he takes them down. So this is a big test for me. I look forward to it. And those other ones, I know you doubted me before, but I know you used to fight at 170, and I know you know how that weight cut can affect you.
Yeah.
And if you don't rehydrate the right way, how it can affect your performance. So that's pretty much what that was with the first fight with myself and Jan. And I'm glad that one's behind me now, and I got to show everybody that, hey, sometimes we all make mistakes even at the top of our game. And that's why you just keep trying to get better every single time you go out there.
And that's exactly it. Sometimes you can just have a bit of an off night. But I've got to say, since that moment, like, something changed because every fight since then, you had a point to prove, and you went out there and you proved it, okay? And I've got to ask, what changed? Was it something mentally that changed for you? Was it about showing the world, or was it just that, okay, now I'm the champ, and your mentality switched and you got into the pocket of what, being the greatest ever?
I'm just being me, man. I can't be anybody else, So I think that's really it. There's nothing that really changed. I know I've been hearing people say that they feel something is different. I feel like this is the same guy. If they feel something is different, that's cool, I guess. Maybe I'm not noticing it. I think this is just some of the same stuff we've been doing. Maybe I'm trusting the process even more and just being more comfortable with it. But from the inside looking out, it just feels the same. At the end of the day, I think each training camp you kind of level up. And not to be like nerdy like Pokemon or anything like that, but it's kind of like that. Like, you get experience points for each time you go out there to battle. Each time you go through a training camp, whether it was a good one or a bad one, you learn from it. And each fight you kind of grow.
Hey Aljo, how you going?
What's up, man? Congrats on the last one.
Thank you. Obviously, you and Henry are probably the two most elite grapplers in the division. What do you think separates you two in grappling-wise?
I think my jiu-jitsu speaks for itself. Funk jitsu, baby. I think my style is completely different from his. He's a freestyle wrestler. I'm a folk style wrestler. He didn't wrestle in college. I did. I know he went straight from high school straight to the international circuit, and he won a gold medal. I'm not sure if you knew that. But he's a good wrestler. But at the end of the day, his style is to take you down and to score points from takedowns. So there's no real control. I'm not saying he doesn't have that. He has a very little bit of that. I think I've shown that I'm proven against high-level black belts, guys that compete in ADCC. I compete with those guys. I beat those guys. And I think that's the difference. I think he's underestimating my grappling, and if he is, it's going to make for a lighter night, so to speak. So whatever it is, I just don't want people making excuses when I smash this guy.
Aljo, you're aiming for your 4th consecutive title fight win, but I almost feel as though we haven't seen the best Aljamain Sterling in those championship fights. Is that fair to say?
I gotta let you guys decide on that. I mean, there's more if you're asking if there's more up the sleeve and up the arsenal, definitely for sure. There's a lot of things I haven't been able to let go yet, but I take what the fight gives me. I try not to force things in training camp. I could try more stuff, make more mistakes, and there's less consequences compared to in the fight. You make some consequences; those consequences could be a lot bigger. So I try not to make too many mistakes when I'm in there. I'm a little bit more dialed in, and I take some chances, but not as many as I do in the room. maybe this one you guys can get to see me be a little bit more free, and we'll see what happens. I think I got the size advantage in my favor. I got the range, I got the grappling, overall grappling, and I think people are forgetting that I can actually strike. I struck with some of the best guys: Jimmy Rivera, Pedro Munoz. Cody Staman's no slouch on the feet when it comes to striking. A stroke with him, until I was eventually able to get him down and show that my ground game was just superior. So there's a lot to be shown to the world, I guess, to answer your question.
Aljo, Henry Cejudo has made no secret of his desire to move up to 145 pounds and fight our very own Alexander Volkanovski. What about you? Is that a desire that you share?
It is. This weight cut's not easy, man. As you can see, it's Tuesday. My face already looks like a skeleton. Yeah, it's not an easy weight cut. You know, I walk around outside of fight camp easily 65, 68, 70. So, and that's me trying to moderate how much I'm eating. So I put on some good weight. So who knows? After this, we'll see what happens, see how the fight goes, see how the rest of the weight cut goes. Try to do it as best as I can. And one fight at a time. I'm not looking past Henry. He's a tough dude. I think a lot of his past opponents might have taken him a little lightly and not realize the threat that he actually is. And I'm not doing that. You know, so I'm making sure none of those little stupid mind games that he's trying to play, you know, Jan couldn't get in my head after 13 months of talking shit, and it's going to be no difference with this one.
Well, we can't wait to see it, Aljo. Thank you so much for your time on Fox Sports. All the best to you this weekend.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
I wish you all the best, mate.
Oi, oi.
There he was, Robert Whittaker. Aljamain Sterling, how do you think he would fare in a fight against Volk?
You know, I think it would be a very interesting fight, but I have to say, you know, Volk adjusts really well. I think Volk brings a lot of problems to the table for a lot of different guys because no one can simulate what he does. The way he steps in, the way he closes that gap, the fact that Volk is so well-rounded is also one of the things that holds back people from just spamming takedowns or spamming heavy shots. It's Volk's, I've said it before, Volk's a powerhouse. He's a hard fight for absolutely anybody.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Like, I don't think Volk's pound for pound, you know, number one or number two, but yeah, he's all around everywhere. I think he gives everyone he fights a problem.
Well, it's a massive fight for Aljamain Sterling this weekend. Henry Cejudo, a two-division champion in the UFC.